Hey everybody, if my signal gets cut off, I apologize. It's storming and stuff around here, so my signal's not very good today. When I was doing motivation, I kind of lost signal. However, we are on the Motivational Manifesto, the nine declaration, section 2 by Brendan Burchard. Declaration 1, we shall meet life with full presence and power. This is a great book, okay? Here we go. Your true home is in here in the now. Thich Tan Han. An affliction is stealing joy from the world's people, poisoning what was meant to be a divinely inspired experience of freedom. It is a haunting absence from the present moment. Too many have checked out of their bodies and their lives. They are not attuned to the energy and circumstances around them, nor do they understand their responsibilities to those things in the very moment. They have little awe or reverence for the blessings around them, acting as if they preferred to be somewhere else, as if they were mentally living in distant time zones, hours behind or ahead of the joyous tick and bliss of now. Their life force thus seems detached and dissipated, their lives unaccounted for and unlived, their souls a world away. The majority of humanity seems lost in the abyss of unawareness. The hollow and glazed eyes of so many reveal it all. Minds trapped in the dark, unfeeling hinterlands of distraction and thoughtlessness. They are not sleeping, but they are not conscious, alert, purposeful. They are buzzed out on coffee, but without awareness, there is no real center of energy, no grounding, no vibrant feel for the now. Life is not meant to be a long series of unfelt, undirected experiences. We are not to be zombies and slaves, unconscious animals trapped in dumbness to the moment, leading mindless and powerless lives. We are not intended to be inattentive to our loved ones and the duties of life or the dreams of our hearts. Should we wish to be free and alive with full power, we must decide to bring the full might of our conscious mind to the present experience. We must choose to feel again. We must sense this life. Let us remember that all that we love of life can be assessed only now. All we seek is here, with us and available to us in this moment. All the real riches, love, passion, joy, satisfaction, harmony are available now on the menu of the mind. Available for us to savor should we awake and order them. All that we seek to become is also here. We can choose what role we want to play and how we will direct life's energies in each moment. Should we learn to direct our awareness and power in all we do, then disconnect shall disappear and vital energy will return. We will sense a vibrancy unfathomable to most men and women of this earth. For this, let us declare, we shall meet life with full presence and power. The half-experienced life. So much of our life goes unnoticed. We miss the sunrise and the sunsets. We don't sense how we're feeling for hours and often days at a time. We don't see the kind stranger help the elderly man across the street. We miss that appreciative smile on our spouse's face. We didn't sense our coworker's desperation because we never paused to look her in the eye or ask about her day. Locked indoors and hidden behind machines, we missed the entire season. The winter passed and we didn't play in the snow. The spring bloomed and we overlooked the flowers. The summer and the fall passed so quickly and we don't even remember the trees changing or feel satisfied with the time we spent outside. Each day there are a million divine wonders, acts of human kindness, and beautiful sights. Yet we are too checked out or busy thinking about yesterday or tomorrow to even sense the magic. We mustn't be so numb or absent-minded as to allow ourselves to suffer the fate and misery of those choosing a half-interest, half-engaged life. We mustn't stay oblivious to the key moments and circumstances of our lives. There is more pulse and beauty and meaning to be had. With enlightenment comes the realization that the natural foe to life is not a distant health, but attachment from living. Reality is only here now, and we must learn to face it, feel it, and form it. The present is all there is. The present all there is. Motivation and life itself cannot be separated from now. Without bringing our full consciousness to the moment, we become slave to impulse or tired inclinations, subservient to our base conditioning that tends to lean forward in ease and fear rather than growth and freedom. From this space of disengagement emerges all that we disdain, the barely present parent, the half-hearted love, the unfocused student, the absent leader. It is time to become more alert and engaged in the world. As the next moment of our lives unfold, we can choose to pay more attention to how we feel, to how others feel, to the blessings all around. We can give others the full beam of our focus and affection. We can open our hearts, minds, spirits to what the universe whispers to us. We can choose once more to be in this very moment and open, free, and alive. Our only enemy in this effort is ourselves. To gain greater presence, we will need to overcome our habit of living in the past or future, and we will need to become more aware of the role and responsibility we can choose each and every moment as free, conscious, and motivated people. Ripped from the time. The reason most of us lack vitality is that we are unconsciously or obsessively directing our minds to the past or future at the expense of fully living now. Life cannot be sensed a day before our day ahead. We must learn to release our habits of nostalgia and absurd projection and re-enter our lives in the moment. We begin to release the past. There's very little use in thinking about yesterday or the days before it unless recounting its joys or looking for its lessons that may help us now. It is best to release the past entirely. All else comes at a different effect to our joy and freedom in the moment. This work is difficult. Most people have become addicted to obsessing about their past, either wishing for it to return or blaming it for the frustrations in their lives today. The cost is that they cannot be spontaneous. They are acting from an identity that is but a glorified or terrorized mental reflection. Spontaneity is the hallmark of a free person, and no person stuck thinking about yesterday, positively or negatively, can be truly liberated in the moment. Some will say, but I like yesterday more than today. I'd rather focus on the glory days and remember who I was than face who I am today. This is a statement of a person who has resigned their personal power. They have become a collection of walking memories rather than a mission-driven human. They are now weak-willed and unambitious, wasted in a perpetual memory that prevents their real life from progressing. Life will continue to be a reminiscent myth unless they discover that their only path out of the past lies in the very day before them. What will bring motivation and glory to their lives once more is a new mental discipline of bringing their focus back to the moment and being authentic and active today. Without such conscious ambition and attention, only a negative circumstance can right them. A catastrophe or severe need might pop them from the past and help them refocus on now. We should hope each jarring will be unnecessary and they will simply choose to re-engage with their current life because it will make them happy and alive once more. If we revisited the past for a brief and joyous recollection, let us be sure to take note of what exactly made us happy. We will see that happiness came from those moments in which we were vitally aware something was happening and we noticed it with awe or appreciation. There was beauty, surprise, pleasure, passion, fun, love, and peace. Perhaps all of these in a glorious span of moments. The world came with a sharp focus for an instant. Meaningless things faded away, and meaningful things enlarged and drew our eye. There was authenticity and freshness to the experience. There was oneness with the moment. We became alert and connected to something positive. That is why we can so easily recall it. Good memories can be celebrated. But let us not forget that even in the house of happiness, a positive past can become unwanted guests, preventing us from the day's activities and freedom. Even though we have these positive associations, let us not drift too long in our minds at the cost of missing those very things that are accessible to us right here and now. What made us happy was awareness of the moment. Let us not forget that. Let us use this knowledge as a life practice and come back to now with full vibrancy. Others think of the past and say, but I hate the past. It is the cause of all problems today, the direct obsession energies to look backward with a sneer and a pointed finger. They would rather not think of the past, and yet they do, because they have mentally tried the thick rope of resentment around old situations. Despite time and the changing world, they are still bitter about old upset, frightful of old fear, victim to old situations. They are now the angry person, the whining victim, or the regretful philosopher. It is very easy to become one of these people because our past has shaped us so much. but we must not. Any dirt or carnage of yesterday belongs nowhere near now, but rather in the disdain of history, where we need not rummage about. Dwelling on past injuries only leaves us dispirited and torn from the moment. If yesterday's hardships are stealing our aliveness today, then we must seek another level of consciousness for some. This will require therapy to work through. For most, it will at the very least require diligence and immediately releasing negative thoughts and instead choosing to ask, what can I focus on in life at this exact moment to sense some peace, appreciation, or enthusiasm? What kind of person and what kind of experience do I want to choose to manifest right now? To those who have such presence of mind belong a life that is connected, real, and positive. Forgetting tomorrow. Many people are checked out of today because they are thinking about tomorrow. For some, there is a secret fear that tomorrow will be worse than today. They lie awake stewing on the hardships that tomorrow might bring. Their fears about the future rip them from the blessings of the moment. Others are concerned that tomorrow won't be worse, but rather no different at all. They think, why can't my life be more exciting? Tomorrow is just going to be another day, another dollar, just another replay of the same old routine. The sad reality is that unless they learn to grip their present experience with a renewed fervor, they are correct. Still, others look to the future in a different way. They are the daydreamers, lost in the positive musings about what is possible for them. They often sit at their desk and let their minds drift into visions of tomorrow, and nothing brings them back but a phone call or knock at the door. Tragically, their feet rarely land in now. They are always wishing on a star, but not working here on earth to enjoy their experience or progress their lives. Just like the past, there is nothing wrong with journeying into the future if it brings joy or instruction. But that journey must bring brief and never come at the expense of owning the hour. Plan and dream when those things are called for, yes, but don't disconnect from the magic and task of people at hand. A better future can be imagined for segments of time, but it is only in this time that a better future can be built. Regardless of their memories or dreams of tomorrow, the masters of this life are always bringing their focus back to this very moment. Their life serenely in the now, benefiting from yesterday without yearning for it, hopeful for tomorrow but not obsessing over it. They are vigilant in directing their attention and effectiveness to their immediate circumstances and people surrounding them. They frequently ask themselves, is my mind alert now? Am I noticing and fully sensing what is around me and taking it all in? Am I feeling this life? Am I directing my full power to what is in front of me and what matters? Avoiding reality. Some among us haven't the strength to ask such questions, preferring the easy escape from life that is avoidance. They prefer to turn away from the responsibilities or circumstances right in front of them. They remove themselves mentally, emotionally, and spiritually from now, since engaging would involve hardships and unflinching self-examination. This is the man who avoids listening to his wife's request because it will require him to remove himself from the couch. The leader who avoids meeting because she would have to face the fact her business is failing. The student who goes out on the town rather than completing a difficult assignment. The man with the medical condition who refuses to go to the hospital because it might mean something is very wrong with his body and death is drawing near. To the immature, unconscious person, it feels sane to avoid the hardship that life thrusts at them. It makes sense to remove their attention from circumstances that bring discomfort. It's easy to stop doing the hard task right in front of them, to disperse their attention onto multiple easier tasks. It is tempting to check out, to run and hide, but in doing so, we avoid life itself. The casualty is our own presence and power. When we lack the courage or discipline to address what we must, our presence is never widely and honed. And so life becomes devoid of feeling and happiness. Avoidance may be the best short-term strategy to avoid pain and conflict, but is also the best long-term strategy to endure suffering. All things must be dealt with, and now is the time to begin. If a difficult conversation awaits with one spouse, then the conversation should be had this day. If the business is in peril, then do not go on vacation or miss the meeting. Get to work fixing the issue at hand. If the paper is due, begin writing. If the body is sick, go to the doctor. Any other action is avoidance, and where there is avoidance, there can ultimately be no peace or progress. Free and motivated people do not neglect reality. They meet difficulty with attention, seeing these as opportunities to test their faith, strength, and love, knowing that life is full of strife. But trusting in themselves and their path, they seek to handle whatever life demands of them directly and swiftly. Through practice, they learn to find comfort in the uncomfortable and true mastery in life. We can learn from them. Let us never look hardship in the face and run. To do so is to tear ourselves from the world, and this time, and to relinquish our growth and contribution in life. Let us always remember that it is addressing our pain and fear. We must gain mastery over them and meeting challenge rather than avoid it. We find success in meeting fate's well-placed opportunities for growth. We become favored, and so let us ask ourselves, what should I finally face in my life? What truths or realities are preventing my growth and happiness? What could I do about it right now? How can I better connect with this moment so that I can master what the hour demands of me? And attention to our roles. Being fully present in life not only means being observant and unfailing in addressing our realities, but also deciding to proactively choose our roles and behaviors each day. In any given moment, we can play one or a combination of 5 vital roles. And attention to these possible roles leads to a life without inattention. But bringing our awareness to them helps us activate our full potential power in each moment. It brings purpose to our minds and activities. And purpose is the greatest bridge to now. Observer. The first role we can play in our lives is observer, or the conscious viewer. This is the role and responsibility we are charged with through the gift of self-awareness as observer. We can float above our reality and view the totality of who we are in life and the minutiae of how we are acting and reacting in the very moment. It is not a detachment from ourselves or the moment, but rather a careful observance of it. Those who have mastered this role can make a decision and almost simultaneously evaluate whether or not it is the right decision. They can sense themselves doing, feeling, and thinking things and know if those things are authentic. They notice that they are making poor decisions, being rude to others, forgetting something important. They are vitally aware of themselves. They can sense a conflict brewing and feel their anger lifting, yet chose not to act on that anger. It is as though they have an internal dialogue. Oh, I see that I am becoming upset about this situation. Why am I reacting this way right now? Will anger serve me in this moment? If I was responding as my highest self, what would I say and do right now? We can learn to master this role by practicing self-examination. Several times throughout the day, we can ask ourselves, if I stop and hovered above my life, what do I see myself doing, and why do I think I am doing that? Why am I feeling what I am feeling right now? What result will happen from my current actions and intentions? What is it I can sense that my mind, body, and spirit truly feel and need and desire right now? When we grasp this idea of sensing ourselves, we become more connected to ourselves in our lives. This must be our goal. Director. The second role is the most proactive role as director. The conscious and intentional creator of our lives. If we can imagine life as a movie, then we can imagine ourselves as one directing each scene and character within it. The director calls all the shots and is the ultimate planner and authority one, what each character is doing, what they are doing it, and what they are going to do next. The director chooses where to focus the camera in each second of filming. The director makes well-reasoned choices about the characters in order to shape a compelling and meaningful story. From this simple metaphor, we can draw much wisdom from improving our lives. Those who are unhappy with the current story of their life are those who have not been directing its scene and characters. They lack a plan for their story. They wander in and out of situations in their lives without any real intent. They focus on the wrong things, often zooming in on the negative aspects of life while missing the beautiful and interesting. They let the wrong characters enter the important scenes. They rarely step back from the frame to see the big picture. They let themselves respond to situations not as a noble and heroic character, but as a whiny child searching across the stage of life. Mastering the role of the director requires us to be more detailed in our intentions for each scene in our story. If we're going out on a date with our spouse this evening, how do we want the scene to unfold? What kind of person do we want to be at the dinner table? How will we appear and what will we sound like? How will we respond to her descriptions of her day? What surprises will keep the scene fresh? How might the entire evening be a romantic love affair captured through our own eyes? Where is this story with the person going to go? Playing the director of our own movie gives us the ability to choose our entire character of life's arc. Will our character be strong or weak, noble or selfish, stressed or peaceful, flighty or grounded? Will each of our days say something about who we are, or if so, what? What will we demonstrate and become in the next scene of our lives? These are important questions. If we do not ask them, if we fail to focus on the story of our lives, and thus we become lost within it. Worse, we become bit players in other people's stories. Casualties of the larger mass narrative. That is a boring tale of conformity. So let us be more conscious. What shall our life story be, and how can we direct our thoughts and actions to make that vision a reality? Guardian. The third role deserving our attention is that of guardian to our mind, body, and soul. We must stand at the gates of our life and protect ourselves from unwanted contaminants, negative information, people, and habits. How often we fail in this role. We let such useless information, tripe, and stupidity into our minds. We dumbly consume words, images, and sounds from salacious sources that masquerade their alerts and offers as somehow relevant to our lives. This is the news media that pretends some ignorant or extreme view might enlighten us. The network that says the reality of a few entitled brats being filmed without filters might entertain us. The web page that cons us into thinking we are miserable without their product. From all this, we do not grow wiser but less informed. Not entertained but numbed. Not wealthier but poor. Everything we consume becomes a part of us. All the useless factoids and scandals do nothing but take root in our psyche and emerge in stupidity and drama later on. Seeing people being petty on television a million times makes us pettier. As guardians of our mind, we mustn't allow the trite and negative to enter so easily. We should be conscious of the information entering our minds. If we set out to learn something, let us be purposeful about the source, seeking to free our brain with positive, empowering information that moves our lives forward. If we want to be entertained, let us choose the form of entertainment that would truly live in us, that would bring depth of understanding or appreciation into our lives. In all cases, let us remain at our post as the protector of a healthy and vital mind. What we see and hear and allow into our brain shapes our personality and our destiny. We must also be guardians of our bodies. The plight of those in abundance cultures brimming with fake food that is convenient, thought, common sense. Rather than choosing food that is real, whole, or good for us, we choose what is fast and sweet. As a society, we have become not guardians, but gorgers, stuffing and poisoning ourselves, mindlessly toxifying the very structure that house our hearts and our soul. Most people would feel guilty for destroying someone else's property, yet they wreck the very temple the Creator gifted them. It is time we protect our health by paying more attention to what we are putting in our mouths. There is no lack of information on how to choose a healthy diet or live a healthier lifestyle. Eat smaller portions, make a plate of mostly whole foods or greens. Limit consumption of processed food and anything with unpronounceable ingredients. Stop eating so much sugar. Move over, and exercise several times per week to maintain a healthy, strong body. Drink more water and get more sleep. None of this is new information. What it is required is a new commitment to caring for our bodies. If we let the energy of our body fade, our motivation soon goes with it. Let us be equally vigilant in evaluating the people we let into our lives. Are we allowing tyrants, jackals, and jerks to contaminate our environment? Who are the negative people poisoning our potential, and why are they in our space? Are we constantly allowing ourselves to be hurt? Are we surrounding ourselves by whiners, and haters? To one and all, they must go, and we mustn't hope that they will go. They will loiter as long as we allow. It is up to us to be fierce guardians of our happiness and humanity in life. This often requires direct communications to tell others to leave, to adjust their attitudes, be kinder and more supportive. It requires being more assertive and demanding. No one likes to do this kind of work, but we must protect ourselves from sour humans. By the same token, we must surround ourselves with positive, kind, and inspiring people. We can choose to call to them from the gates of our lives, inviting them into our circles and homes, asking them to share their insights and lives with us. The warrior. The next role is the warrior. Should we sit in our homes and find life wanting, then we must stand and venture out to fight purposefully for something more. We must be bold, fierce, and relentless in chasing our dreams. We must push aside fears, struggles, and convictions. Battle through our obstacles. We must want to win, to bring back treasure and glory to our homes, to leave nothing on the battlefield of life but the legend of our courage and might. Hold on, I need to get a drink of water. We all have made nothing of ourselves or create anything significant unless we prepare for the long We all had made nothing of ourselves or create anything significant unless we prepare for the long and arduous journey to mastery. What skills must we have to win our next battle? Let us acquire them now. What tools and resources will we need? Let us ready them now. Who will we need to march with us so that we can have our academic and support in taking to the next mountain? Let us seek to meet and enlist them now. What must we sacrifice in order to ascend even higher? Let us sacrifice it now before it weighs down on the journey. Owning the role of warrior requires us to take the stock of all things we are deeply committed to in life. The warrior asks, what will I stand for in life? How will I bring honor and abundance to my loved ones? What adventures will make me feel alive? What do I want and how hard am I prepared to fight for it? This matter of hard work reveals whether we are the cowards or warriors of this world. Perhaps it is time we step back from our busy work and thinking again about our greater dreams and glory. Let us be honest and brave in assessing our lives, asking, how hard am I really working toward my dream? Am I letting little obstacles stop my progress, or am I battling through them on a consistent basis? Am I doing what I must to prepare my mind, body, and soul for victory? Am I acting with real conviction and commitment in life, or simply trudging through? Have I struggled to succeed in any area of my life because I am failed to sacrifice or commit? If we have real dreams, then we must fight for them. For the sake of our soul and our families, we must adopt that warrior spirit that is hungry, ambitious, and courageous. The sense of the warrior spirit is readiness, a bias towards action. Warriors do not waste time in making decisions. There is little hesitation. Hemming, hawing, and hedging warriors do not await perfect circumstance to begin the long march to victory. They do not stop when tired or frightened. They do not shy away from a needed fight. They do not apologize for boldness or strength. No, when there is a conquest, when they see fortune in lands and horizons, they set out. They march, and they march, and they march, and they march. On their path, they have gravity about them, a seriousness, a commitment, a strong center. They are solid no matter how much turmoil and uncertainty lurks beneath. Their fire, will, and discipline are uncommon, sometimes causing others to fear their ambition, and yet always they earn respect for their courage. There they go. The watchers on the sidelines of life says, that person is a fighter and will not give up. So what is it that we are fighting for? To real warriors, this is a burning question, something deeply contemplated. Warriors take pride and dignity from their answers to such questions. Their commitments are important to them, and every small victory towards those commitments is logged, celebrated, integrated in their integrity, shared joyously with their tribe of fellow strivers. They are fully aware of the fact that the warrior is creating a warrior ethos, a legend as a fighter for things both important themselves and also grander and more significant than themselves. They're giving their lives to something that matters. To become stronger warriors, we must stop in all the hesitation and excuses. We must commit to fighting harder and longer towards our dreams. So let us write down all the things that we've been waiting to do, along with our excuses for not doing them. Let us contemplate where we are being weak in our lives or progressing too slowly. Then let us get recommitted and decide that tomorrow, no matter what, we will march with courage toward our dreams, regardless of the obstacles in our way. Let us be obsessed and fierce about our progress once more. Warriors are stubborn and strict, clear about what they fight for and committed to every discipline required to win the next battle. For the fate of our dreams and the security of the abundance of our families. Let our character be solid. The lover. While our quest, we must never forget whom we are fighting for. There are people who care for and who need us. No victory is sweet, no life fulfilling without someone to celebrate with and care for. And so let us master our role as lover. Lovers have a stunning capacity for shining attention and adoration on others. They take a vital interest in others so that they may understand them, care for them, and contribute meaningfully to their lives. They communicate from the heart and seek to enlarge the heart of those around them by giving them respect and empathy. This may be the most difficult role and responsibility to master. Our relationships demand more presence, more attention, and more purposeful tending than any other area in our lives. Yet how often we cause our own disappointments, heartbreaking, and separation. Think of all the wrecked relationships that could have been saved with just a few more minutes worth of time, attention, and affection. Witness the father yell at his daughter without regarding for her feelings or needs. Observe the wife at the table staring at her phone rather than conversing with her spouse. Recall the time a loved one needed a kind word, but we were too busy. All the darkness and sadness caused in these situations would be preventable if we're a higher focus of love. Sorry, it's making me think. In a modern world plagued with distractions, our greatest work in becoming a better love is in reconnecting with those who have already given us their hearts. We have to finally stop all the looking about and the once more peered into the eyes of those we adore. Wow, I didn't know that was going to be emotional. We have to ask them more questions. How was their day, really? What are they struggling with? What would make them feel more alive and happy? How can we connect with and care for them better? Is there a way we can demonstrate even more affection and appreciation for them? We must learn to sit down each day and think about the health and growth of our loved ones as much as we think about the growth of our careers. Are there rituals we can create to bring us all closer? To rekindle the fire and passion, to move our lives forward together? Each of us was fashioned from love. Our nature is love, and our hearts beat with it, and our spirit soars with it, quickening power. Let us reconnect with our hearts and the hearts of others. Let us embody this role with such vitality and power that in the bright beams of our love, those around us are stunned and overjoyed and honored and enlivened. Leader. There are men and women counting on us and looking to our example. They await our direction and action. We owe it to them to be outstanding in our role as leader. The world is in dire need of leaders because we lack them. So many individuals and institutions are barreling blindly in the dark. Society is not being moored to the demands of good character and the exceptions to serve the common good. And so the world is intoxicated by greed, mad passions, and intolerance. Without leaders at the helm of humanity, what should be a joyous collective ride toward hope, freedom, and abundance for all it instead a terrible, directionless drive with spoiled brats too ignorant and proud to ask for direction. A careening vehicle headed to catastrophe. We must begin again the great work of uplifting humankind. Our times demand vision and discipline, collaborative effort to make a real difference. These things are inspired and sustained by good leaders. And so let us ask ourselves, what can be done to improve this world that I influence? How can I help others solve problems and achieve their dreams? Who can I enlist and empower to help achieve something remarkable? How can I unlock the potential of those around me to do more good? Perhaps if more people asked these kinds of questions, we could stop society's headlong drive into oblivion. Yet some of us fear taking a leadership role. But what is our excuse? In the final reckoning of our life's legacy, shall we explain to our Creator that He did not equip us enough for the task? No, we must forget the excuses and remember our duty to serve something larger than ourselves. Look back at history. When good decisions and progress were made at the important crossroads of each era, there was always bold and motivated people with clear vision and sure voices. Let us be that for our generations. The call for leadership is all around us. All around. Let's not play deaf to the needs of the world at this moment of crisis. There are things to volunteer for and lead in our neighborhoods and communities. There are untapped sources of potential and power in our businesses. And so let us decide now to do our best to spot those areas of need, to lift those around us, to unite people in meaningful struggle and service once more. For the betterment of our world, it is time to take charge once more. The moment now. Last four paragraphs. The moment now. Each of those roles, observer, director, guardian, warrior, lover, and leader, is available to us in any moment. Should we be intent on activating them, we shall own the moment in ways we never imagined. Motivation will arrive. Life will come back. A vibrancy will emanate through our entire being. None of us will even master all these roles in our lives simultaneously, but that does not mean we should neglect them. Today, let us commit to studying these rules and doing our damnedest to enact them with more presence and power. The sunshine of enlightenment spreads to those who understand that the moments of our lives must not go unnoticed and unlived. We can feel these warm rays of hope if we make the commitment choice not to detach from our lives in any way. We mustn't avoid this day's reality or wish for a better one. We must learn to live in reverence to the moment and all we have been given by it, and all we chose to give to it. We can choose our roles and responses to the world so. Over time, our character and destiny are forged purposely. From these efforts, we shall rediscover the immensity of freedom and gift that is each and every divine moment spent alive. And thanks, everybody. That was the Motivational Manifesto, the third chapter. Tomorrow is Declaration 2. We shall reclaim our agenda. We're on page 97. This is tomorrow's reading. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. That one kind of got to me a little bit, and I apologize if you saw a little bit of emotion out of me. I respect and appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. I will talk